Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. And what is this video? Well, I shall tell you first. Let's get rid of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some beats with Granulator. That's a little bit strange, you might ask, because Granulator is sort of for granular synthesis. Maybe for sort of textures and drones and things like that. Yeah, sure. But no, not at all. You can use it for anything. It's a synthesizer. You can use it for whatever you want. And like all synthesizers, you can make them kind of do anything. And I'm going to make them do weird, squashy, squishy, squishy, squashy beats. If you've watched this channel before, you'll remember that a handful of times I've mentioned that beats don't have to be like a static thing, in my opinion. They can be things that can change. They're pliable. They can stretch. They can squash. They can move around. They can modulate. They are their own event in themselves. They're not just a static thing that you hit and you get the same thing again. Sometimes you want that. Sometimes you need that. Good solid kick, good solid snare is very important. But sometimes I might want the snare to kind of go... And so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to make some granular beats with Granulator 3 in Live 12. I'm going to go and get some samples. Let's see what we've got here. Where's my kicks folder? Let's see what this one... Doesn't really matter that one will do. It doesn't really matter like what they sound like because they're all going to get turned to complete mush anyway. Let's find a snare now. Where are my snares? Here we go. That's quite nice. Let's just take that one, and then let's find like a ride cymbal, something. Yeah, that'll do. Right, okay. So let's keep those there as a little reference. Right, let's go and get the drum rack, put the drum rack in here, and then let's go and get the Granulator 3, put that in there. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just put these in a group. Let's put this one in group, choke group 16. Okay, let's put the kick drum in there. And let's sort of put this position at the start, put the grain size down a little bit, and let's just make a pattern. Let's put that there. We can put that there now. It's very exciting. Let's just make a pattern here of something like, well, just this. Right, so already we get that. Okay, that's fine. Let's take a copy of that, put that there, and put the snare in that one. Let's put the snare in that one. And we'll just put like some snares here. Let's go up to 140. Now, that just sounds like it's going... If we put the scan to 1, let's try putting the scan to 1 on both of these. Right. That already sounds pretty bonkers. Maybe put the grain size up. Okay, let's turn the grain size down. Alright, let's turn the grain size down on this one as well. Have a listen to the kick soloed. So probably what's happening is that we are getting some sort of envelope stuff. Let's pull the envelope down a little bit and maybe the release down a touch. Maybe something like 100, and then let's do the same for this one. Okay, so the scan will effectively sort of automatically move through the sound. If you set the scan to 0, kind of get this thing. So I'm not going to use the scan. I'm going to see if I can use the LFO, because I'm basically just going to try and modulate these as much as I can and just make this sort of just overwhelming amount of activity happening with these only 2 sounds. So let's start with the kick. Let's solo the kick. And let's see if we can, let's click on the position tab. and assign the LFO to the position tab. Let's put that all the way up. Let's go to the LFO and let's set the phase to 0% and set this to up. And then we can sort of see that the LFO now, I think, should be moving through the start position. So if we were to set this to rhythmic values, now that's moving through the sound at 1 beat. Now it's moving through at 32 beats. So let's put it to something like 16 beats. And then let's go and get our old friend now in user interface expression control. Let's put that there. And let's just go to the random tab, set this to remote and map that to the LFO beat. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Bit more release maybe. There we go, that's good. 1000 milliseconds is good. Yes, tasty. So already we can sort of apply. Let's turn the grain side. Right, that's a little bit too much. We can apply variation to the grains, but I kind of want this all to happen on the beat. I want every single sound to just shift around and move about. I can't quite see. You can't zoom in and out on the waveform, but that's okay. I'm just going to decide that that actually starts about there. So let's just take another random on the expression control. Let's go to random here, set this to remote and map that to the grain size. And maybe set a maximum output range of like 50%. Oh my goodness me. Set the low to 10. And then apply a little bit of variation. Okay, so what I might actually do is just work on the kick first and then duplicate that and just replace the sound with the snare. We'll see if that works. Otherwise, we're going to have to do it all again. I think this is all looking pretty good so far. We've got different modes here. Cloud. Loop. And classic. Let's just assign another random on the expression control to that to see what that sounds like. Okay. And let's use another random on the expression control to the LFO shape so we can get the LFO to sort of move backwards and forwards like that. This is madness already. Okay, some of those grain sizes are a little bit too big. What's the one with the grain size? Okay, let's put this down to 30% and maybe minimum 5%. Let's maybe try 10% and 40%, and maybe let's back up a bit on that position. Okay, that is all right. Now let's see what happens if let's delete that snare and duplicate this one to here, and then replace that sound with the snare and see. Okay. Goodness me. All right. All right, let's put in some extra notes here. Let's get this a little bit more funky and exciting. We'll just put some of these in here and then these all here, these kick drums here, these kick drums here, maybe not that one. And then let's just take all of these. Let's go to the chants, pull the chants down on all of these, maybe something like 50%. And then the same for these snares here and this one here. Let's pull those all down to about 50%. Now they're in the same choke group, so they're going to choke each other out, which can sound very nice when we're using long release times. So let's go to our envelopes. Okay, that snare, I think the grain size is still a little bit too... Okay, it's very, very silly. so what we've lost now is the initial transient of the sound. So I'm going to layer back in the original sounds just in a sort of standard simpler. So let's take the kick drum here. Let's group that, go into the chain and just drop the kick drum in on a new chain and it will load in simpler, which looks different. We're in live 12, so simpler looks a little different, but that's fine. Let's go to one shot and turn the velocity down, the volume up, and the fade sort of quite high to something like that. In fact, let's maybe move the end position. Let's just enter the kick on its own. And then what I might do is put a high pass on this granular kick. We could even sounds a bit mad. We're going to have to tame it as we go. Let's do the same now for the snare. Let's group that and drag the snare into this new chain here. Listen to that by itself. Yeah, okay, let's put the velocity down, set the volume to 0, go to one shot, bring the end position down a little bit, apply a bit of fade here. Let's hear those together. I'll do the same thing here, apply a high pass. Let's give them a really long release time, both of them. It's maybe a little too long. Let's try 2000s. Okay, so I've just dialed in a tiny little bit of scan there on the snare. Let's do the same for the kick. Yes, it's madness. It's just complete madness. There's no like re-trigger on the LFO, at least that I can't see from here. It just seems to have a phase, and I think that phase must be when you actually trigger a note. That is my guess, which is actually kind of quite nice, because then you could say, oh, I want my sine wave to start halfway through or well, that would be halfway through. I'm not very good with phases when they're in degrees. But I would guess that setting it to 0 means that it's going to start at the beginning of the phase. Maybe. What's this quant? What's this quant thing here? What does that mean? Quant. Doesn't say. Okay. Never mind. Someone tell me in the comments what quant is. Quantize, maybe. Oh, yes. Okay, let's put the ride symbol in now. Let's get a another granulator. We won't group this one. Just put that there. Let's get the ride symbol. Put the ride symbol in there. Do something with the ride symbol in a similar fashion. Yeah, let's try with this ride. Let's just try randomizing the scan. Maybe that might work better than using the LFO on the start position or not. I don't know. Let's try and bring in the expression control. Oh, let's bring in the expression control. Get in there, drop down in there. Thank you. Right, okay. And let's get the random, turn it to remote, set the map to the scan, and just see. Listen to that by itself. All right, let's map another random to the grain size. Okay, let's just map a random to that transposition as well. Why not? We can do whatever we want on this channel. We don't care. Maybe another little bit of high passing here. Oh, it's just madness, isn't it? Let's pull down the chance on those ones. This is too... Oh my god, what have I done? I think maybe this is too fast. I think maybe for this stuff, I'm going to try it quite slow. Let's try it something like 90 BPM. What we need to do now is really squash it and make it very monstrous. So let's go and get raw. Raw is very trendy right now. Let's set the compressor to about... I'm, for some reason, going to line it up with that little light. Yeah, I mean, I think this is really just some of my best work. It's a little bit of a mess. So I'm going to persevere in this video in the hope that I will tame it and that you can watch me do that if you're into that sort of thing. So we could have actually maybe used the envelope. Oh! Stereo LFO, that's interesting. Let's say we've got one more tab left on the expression control. Let's just link that to the variation. Oh, that's interesting. Actually, let's undo that. See what happened. See what's happened there. I've made a little bug. I've made a little bug happen with the expression control. Let's get rid of that. Oh, the bug is still there. How interesting. That's very interesting. Anyone out there watching want to see that? You might want to know. Look what's happened. I broke that knob. Oh god, I don't want to break someone's knob. Oh, I've just deleted all of my mappings. What a dumbass. Okay, they're all back now, are they? I think. Yeah, they're all there. Okay, let's try that again. Let's put that, map that to that. It's still a little buggy, but that's okay. Let's put that to about 40%. 20%. A little bit. This is just absolutely mad. I don't know, why did I think this was a good idea? So yeah, layering in a very short transient, you know, sharp bit of the original sound dry without any granular kind of maintains that punch. I like it when the playback kind of comes back at you after it's done its thing. So that's what I like. Go up to like 160, see what that's like. Okay, I think what maybe could be fun actually is if, what was I at? 90 or something. What could be fun actually is if we macro the like amplitude envelope for the for each of the granulators. So let's just do that now, see what that's like, see how that feels, see how it feels. So we'll keep that at 0, I think, and we'll just map the decay. We're gonna have to do this a couple of times. So let's map this to macro 1, which I believe will be there, yeah, and the release to macro 1, which will be there, and then we get this type of thing. So that was just for the kick. Let's try that now for the snare. Let's do the same thing here. Map the decay to macro 1 and the release to macro 1. Turn that down. Yep, that's fine. And let's do the same for the ride. That one is not grouped, so just to keep consistent, let's group that anyway. And map the macro, yeah, the decay macro and the release macro to the same thing, and then we'll map that to macro number 1 here, and we'll do the same for that one, map that to macro number 1, and this one, map that to macro number 1, and now we've got macro control over all the envelopes. I'll just call this decay. Wow. Let's just map the ride to the same choke group as well, just to see what that's like. What I might do is take some of those rides out. I've changed my mind about those. And then what I might do is put them on some offbeats like that. Yeah, that's better. It's a real foot tapper for a Monday, don't you think? Let's go a little bit faster again. Now that I've taken back some of that amplitude envelope. Transposed everything up 7 semitones. Let's do the same thing on the simplers as well. Where do we do that? Oh, that is they're all got warp on. Okay, let's go up 7 semitones here. This is when it starts to get deep and a lot to manage, going into all these nested groups and thingy floppy you know, put that up to 7. I mean, you're going to be very lucky if you're going to find a group of people in a room who are going to want to listen to this. And if you find those people, can you send them my direction? Or I'll come to you. Let's take another clip and give these all like an incredibly low chance just for a laugh, just to see what that's like. And like 13% and see what this is. let's get in another expression control. That LFO on the pitch is just too good, too silly. Let's go to random, set that to remote, map that to the... to that. Will it let me do it? Yeah. Sort of when IDM, like intelligent dance music, stops being intelligent, it just becomes absolute stupid dance music. I think that is more than enough mayhem for one Monday afternoon. So there you go. That is how you can use Granulator to make beats. Why would you want to do that? I don't know, but you can do it. Sometimes it's just worth trying to see what these things sound like, even if it's a ridiculous idea, because sometimes it might be the best idea ever. I'm not saying that that's the case here, but... you can turn your beats into, like, you know when you blow off a balloon but you don't tie the knot and you let it go and it goes... It's like that. Okay, thanks for watching. If you've made it this far to the video, leave a balloon emoji in the comments. I'm going to go and put this on my Patreon now, where you can download this set plus loads of other Ableton and Max stuff and all kinds of things, and get involved with all kinds of cool people and have a great time. And it all goes towards making videos like this. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time. Bye.